Good evening.
Good evening.
Good afternoon. Good morning. My name is Marquise Trent. I'm here from Richmond, Virginia. And what I like to do is I like to do like my father does. I like to take you to the end, to show it to you, then you bring you back to the beginning. And my message for today is called Possible is Relative. I'm going to say that one more time. Possible is relative. It's like as soon as I was blessed with the opportunity to speak, I was like, well, what am I going to talk about? Then it came to me, and it was like, possible is relative. And what that means, as I sat there, I began to meditate, and it almost hit me instantly. And it said, possible is relative. And this is what I received. It's a little complex, so I'm going to break it down. The possibility of an accomplishment or a goal being realized is relative to the amount of action, faith, and or belief that you exert into the direction of said goal. One more time. The possibility of you achieving a goal or accomplishment is relative, which we know deals in proportions, to the amount of faith, belief, or action that you exert into the direction of said goal. It was a man named Job in the Bible. I consider it to be the Word of God, and whether or not I consider it, it is the Word of God. So it was a man named Job, one of my favorites. I can't wait to meet him. This is what Job said. Yeah, Job was amazing. How can a person go through something like that and just say, well, you know, God give you, take it away. You know, blessed be the name of the Lord. You lost everything you have. And that's all you say? I can't wait to meet you. But check this out. Job said, the thing that I feared the most has come upon me. What I was most afraid of is come unto me. This is what Job said. So think about what I said as far as possible being relative. Think about what Job said. Except it's the opposite. Job didn't have faith. Job didn't have belief. Job didn't have action as far as the positive standpoint. He had it in the negative. So his fear literally attracted what it was that he was afraid of. He exerted fear, not faith, not belief, not optimism. He exerted fear, and it brought it back unto him, what it was that he feared the most. So I say, you know, the thing that I faith, this just hit me last night as I'm walking on the porch, and I'm like, what, you know, kind of going over what I'm going to speak about. And I was like, well, how about instead of the thing that I feared the most has come upon me, what about the thing that I faithed the most has come upon me? What are the things that I believed the most is come unto me? Does that make sense? See, we believe a lot of things intellectually here, but we don't believe it in our heart.
That's right.
And that makes the difference. It makes all the difference. People say, I believe God, I believe God, I believe God. Well, your life shows kind of different at times. So we got to take that pause. As my brother Larry said, look into the mirror. You can lie to everybody else. You can't lie to you. You can't stand in that mirror and say this, that if it's not true. You have to face where you are. Then begin to make those crucial steps in faith. So we're going to jump back into this. Possible is relative. People can say, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Who do you believe, them or you? If God said you can do this, that, who do you believe, the circumstances or you? Faith sees what's there even though it's not there. Faith is the substance. Substances are tangible, even if they ain't get there yet. It's tangible. Faith is the substance of things you hope for. It's the evidence. How can you have evidence that doesn't exist? Think about that. If I went to a courtroom, and I've been in them, since you want some of my testimony, I've been in them, and I've had people bring bags of evidence out before the judge. And in doing so, I was convicted according to the evidence that was there. So you got to be convicted to the evidence that's in your heart by faith. Don't say you believe one thing and then you're going to do another. Believe what you're going to believe and stand on it no matter how long it takes. So the evidence that them individuals used to convict me put me in the standpoint to decide, is everything that I still wanted to do possible because these people say I can't. I'm young, I'm black, and I got a record. So can I not be one of the greatest speakers ever known? One of the greatest inspirational rappers ever known? Can I, Marquise Trent, not go down in history because some individuals who have different views of how I should live or be say otherwise? Possible is relative.
Right.
Possible is relative to what you believe. So you know what I believe? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I keep saying that because faith literally comes by hearing. By the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, you are bombarded from negative. All day. It could be the wife, it could be the children, it could be the text message. I had Toastmasters this morning. And guess what happened? I went to warm my car, defrosted, came back out, the car cut off. Didn't work. Like he said, I chose to say, I ain't worried about it. I'm going to get there anyway. Why? Because possible is relative. Somebody else said, oh my God, I ain't got no car. How I'm going to make it? They want me to be there. They going to say it ain't this. They going to say it ain't that. I'm going to lose my opportunity. Possible is relative. So I'm standing here. We got some stories here, some stories that every time I hear them, it pulls on my soul. Because that's what I was told. You really want to get somebody? Touch their heart. I can kick you a bunch of facts. I get their heart, got you. Because even God wants your heart. He wants all of you. But check this out. One of my favorites when it comes to faith is Orville and Wilbur. Two brothers down in Kitty Hawk, 1903. They said, hey, we believe we can fly. I know R. Kelly said that, but we ain't talking about him. He said, we believe we can fly. So even though people saying, y'all can't do this, y'all can't do that, y'all crazy. How you going to do this? How you going to do that? They encouraged each other. They said, you know what? Possible is relative. And in doing so, Orville and Wilbur Wright, the Wright brothers, they built the first successful plane. I just found that out. There was a plane that was built before, but it was a successful fixed wing. So these two brothers, which were engineers and inventors, that right there takes faith. Because when you invent, you bring something out of nothing. So everybody gonna say you crazy. If you would have talked to some older people years ago and said, one day you'll watch me on this device that don't have no wires, and don't do this, and don't do this. I told you that boy crazy. Possible is relative. So now people seeing me prayerfully all over the globe. Not for my empowerment, for theirs. So that thing that somebody kept telling them since they were small, that gets inside your heart. And if you don't get that seed out, then it won't. Your possibility won't manifest. So you got to get that seed of I can't, that seed of I won't, that seed of fear out of your heart. And keep rinsing your mind, rinsing your heart, rinsing your soul with the possibility of I can do it. I can. Possible is relative. Back to the Wright brothers. They achieved that fact. They achieved that goal. Their goal was to create a fixed wing craft with controls to allow them to fly. And guess what we do every day, all day? We fly because two brothers said, even though everybody else said I can't, possible is relative. Possible is relative. African American female, Tennessee. I can't believe this story. Every time I tell it, it's amazing. Bouts of polio, even scarlet fever, left leg twisted, foot twisted, walking with a brace. If I was to tell you that this individual in whom I speak won world records, this individual of whom I speak was literally called the tornado, literally called the fastest woman on earth, literally called the Black Gazette, you'll say, that's impossible. But possible is relative. Wilma Rudolph, who was number 20 out of 22 children, my Lord, that's relatively possible if you ask me. But if you ask me, 22 children, Marquise ain't gonna do that, so it must be relatively possible for the next individual. But they did it. And in doing so, this young female went from crippled in a wheelchair, staring out a window at her brothers and sisters playing and said, Mom, why can't I do that? And her mama said, stop it. You can do it. Who you gonna believe, the doctors or you gonna believe me? The key word was believe. And it made it possible for Wilma to get up out the wheelchair, start doing what she needed to do, get her strength, play basketball, win records in high school basketball. She was a star, man. It was in her. She couldn't be defeated. And even when she lost, she took the losing, as my brother Larry again said, and made it a learning experience. You win and you learn. That's it. The times I failed in my life, I said, hold on. I just got pulled over and arrested again. I just got pulled over and arrested. Something has to change for this not to happen again. So I didn't lose. I learned. And my learning will cause me to impart wisdom into the next individual. It don't matter how old you are. Because I was telling two of the little ones that are in my care at this moment, my children, I told them something different. I said a man ain't a man until his mind changes. A male becomes a man when his mind changes. I know people that's my age and older, but they're still children. So until their mind changes, they're not men. Do you understand that? And they said, yeah. I said, I'm going to make sure we talk about it again. But not to get off the course of possible is relative. Wilma Rudolph ran, and she got records, 1960 in Rome. You should go watch that video. Type in Wilma Rudolph, 1960 Rome, and literally watch a miracle in front of you. Because that's what it was. If you was to hear the story of a girl having polio not once, not twice, but multiple times, having scarlet fever, walking pneumonia, all of these things with a brace on her leg, crooked, literally, twisted foot, and say she's going to go and be a world athlete, a world star, you be like, that's impossible. But we got to say what? Possible is what? Relative. And she did. One more, one of my favorites. When I see this literally almost brings tears to my eyes just to hear the story. Roger Bannister. I want to hear give you the name this time. The whole world believed, the whole entire planet believed it was impossible to run a mile in under 4 minutes. When I heard it, make my head spin, because I know my mile used to be, used to be 8 minutes. I worked on my time, got it down 7, something about 6:30, something like that. I'm like, whoo! But you telling me a human being ran a mile in under 4 minutes? You know how fast you got to be running to do that? You know how much strength and belief, it's pure belief. Because people tried it, and the best times they got it down was 4 minutes and 2 seconds. 4 minutes and 9 seconds, 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Running with all they have. One individual, he ran, I believe it was Mr. Landy, 7 times. He got 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Till he actually, they interviewed him and said, what happened? He said, in my mind, it was impossible, in so many words, paraphrasing. It was impossible. I couldn't do it. I can't do it. Even though you're like, wow, it's only 2 seconds. It was like me, he said this out of his own mouth, it was like me running into a brick wall. To just get 2 seconds down, 2.5 seconds down. Till one day, Roger Bannister, and this would really trip me out when I found this out. Roger Bannister ran 3 minutes, 59 seconds, 0.4. 3:59.4. He did it. The crowd went crazy. And guess what? He didn't have much training. He wasn't a real runner. But you know what it was? His belief. His belief. That changed the whole fact. People say, oh, here go another belief speech. Until you get it, you don't have it. Does that make sense? This is one thing that I believe I was blessed with. What you really believe manifests in your life. What you really, really, really believe will manifest in your life. You say, I believe I could be the best speaker. I believe I could be this. You've been in the same place you was at 5 years ago. I'm starting to not believe you. So something has to change along the way. Get it from your head to your heart. Block out all the negativity and say, this is my goal and I'm running to it. You know what they said? Jesus looked past the shame of the cross. He looked past the shame of the cross at us. So that's what we must do. Let me tell you a little bit about me. International empowerment speaker. Will travel the planet. Write a best-selling book. Will be on TV. Will be on radio. Will be interviewed. Do I care what you think? Not at all. Because possible is relative. And I know where I'm going. See, I'm past just belief. It's becoming a conviction. I had to work on the procrastination. I had to work on these traps that hold us. And once you get free of those traps and be ruthless, you don't know what that did to me. That changed the whole game. Because I was deciding whether if I should just cut everybody off. Just cut people off. Cut my phone off. What do I have to fear? What do I have to lose? They holding me back from getting there. Because I'm worried about what they thinking. Cut the phone off and focus. That's the difference between a shotgun and a rifle. Focus. Shotgun blast, wide and spread. You might hit your target. Rifle, you got him. Possible is relative. So in doing so, watch what I do. Not to pick me up. It ain't about me. It's about what God wants. Does that make sense? So the possibility of me going around this planet as a young man from Richmond, Virginia, who had a whole lot of issues, who had made a whole lot of mistakes, showing the other young brothers and sisters, even the elder, possible is relative. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do something. Just make sure that it's in line with what God calls you to do in your destiny. And you will do it. I'm going to leave y'all with this. The Lord bless me with an acronym for bless. We always say we bless. This is what he gave me. So when you see it, you know where it came from. I need to go ahead and trademark it. Bless stands for believe, learn, exercise, sacrifice, succeed, then elevate into destiny. One more time, and I'm telling you now, if you steal it, it ain't going to work for you because it's mine. Believe, learn, exercise, sacrifice, succeed, then elevate into destiny. You got to believe first. I believe first who International Quise is. And guess what happened? My belief actually created the fact, and I got a passport at the house. Not to mention I'm prior military 9 years. I traveled halfway around the world. Now I got to make the rest of the trip. So I consider myself International Quise. I brand myself as the person who I am. Not going to be. I am that person now. But you got to take that step. Not have fear. Because fear is a killer. Fear is the opposite of faith. And my possibility of being relative determines on how much fear I'm going to let in. Like Job. But you know the story of Job? Even after he lost it all, he got it all double. Because even though he feared those things, guess what he had? He had faith. And he believed in a God that could give him everything that he lost. So the possibility of Marquise achieving the goal of being an international empowerment speaker, motivator, rap artist, author of a book is relative to the amount of faith, belief, and action that Marquise Trent has and is exerted by even being here right now to bring about the said goal of me being International Quise and the world remembering me, not for myself, but for God's glory. Thank you for your time.
Now, wait a minute. Stand right there, because I want to step into your destiny with you. That was a great young man. Thank you so much. You might even have some preach in you.
Well, I do that too.
All right, all right. Thanks for coming.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Can I tell them where to find it?
Please do.
www.internationalquise.com.
That's Quise.
Yes, ma'am. International spelled out completely. Quise.com. Facebook, you can find me at Marquise Diamond. I don't remember my picture, but you'll see it's me and you'll know it's me. I don't look like this. I wear different hats for my different venues. And also I do music, so you can check out gospel, the number 4, gangsters.com. GANGSTAS, gospel, the number 4, gangsters, STAS.com. And just please get in touch with me. I'm a people person. It ain't about the fame. It ain't about none of that. It's about me connecting with you and watching how your life changes. That's it.
Your life is going to change.
Thank you. I received that.
All right. All right. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
We are going to take another break.